Four new California gun laws are hitting the Senate floor, guys. Now, California obviously has some crazy gun laws, and I'm going to link all the bills down below so you can look into them yourself. Let's start with AB 1078. California already had a one gun in 30 days rule that we defeated. That was Nugent v. Bonta. The Ninth Circuit actually came to our favor in that ruling. Well, this time it's going to be 3 guns in 30 days, and in the bill it says as soon as they pass this, they're going to shift it back to 1 gun in 30 days, guys. It's going to be worse. And like I said, guys, these bills have already moved to the Senate floor. They're waiting for a vote. They're going to be heard by the Senate. The Senate and House will pass these bills, and then Gavin Newsom is going to sign them at the governor's desk. There's never been gun control that this guy wasn't loving. Then, of course, there's AB 1127, the Glock ban in California. Now, any Glock or Glock clone that has a crucible trigger bar is going to be banned because they can be converted with a switch into full auto. If you look into how a Glock works and that crucible trigger bar works, you can see why it's able to use a switch to keep it from disengaging for the next shot. This will ban the sale and sometimes the possession of Glocks unless you got them before this passes. So guys, go out and get your Glocks. Now, if you're police or military, you're going to be exempt. I don't think that's fair. I don't think any of you think that's fair. Let me know down below what you think about that. And once again, this just passed and it's waiting at the Senate floor to be heard and voted on. And if the Senate and House agree on it, they're going to go ahead and send it to Gavin Newsom's desk. Then there's California SB 704. This is going to be a background check for any type of barrel. It doesn't matter if it's just a pistol barrel. It could be a parts kit you're ordering that has a barrel in it. Or maybe you're just buying an AR-15 upper. Well, now it's going to have to be serialized. You're going to have to go to your FFL for a background check. He's going to have to record the manufacturer of the barrel, the model of the barrel, what caliber it was, and its length, and all of that's going to be written down in the FFL's records of sale. I think this is a huge problem, guys, and like I said, the most commonly owned rifle in America, the AR-15, you can buy and swap out uppers like it's Legos. We shouldn't have to go through a background check for any barrels. And unfortunately, this is also headed to the Senate floor, where it's going to be heard and then voted on. The House and Senate will again agree on this, and Newsom will again sign it. Especially when he's trying to run for president soon. No matter what he says, we all know he's thinking it. He wants to turn the rest of America into California, and this will be his best way to show that he's got a proven track record of getting it done. And then there's the new bill to ban CNC milling and 3D printing. This bill is AB 1263. Guys, we've had the right to manufacture and produce our own weapons from home since before this was even its own country. Back under King George III of England, you were allowed to produce your own firearms at home. You could carry your guns for self-defense. You could even use them for hunting and everything else. That's why the Second Amendment doesn't specifically talk about that, because these were already common sense rights like Castle Doctrine. But to the state of California, there's no guns, there's no gun rights that are common sense. And as I'm sure you can guess, the people that guard California politicians and lawmakers, they're going to be using all of these firearms, all of these methods. They're not going to stop doing what they're doing to protect themselves and California politicians and lawmakers. So why should we be limited in how we protect ourselves? You know, you hear some crazy rulings in this country and other states like Massachusetts that just said its handgun roster fell in line with the text, history, and tradition of Bruin because in the 1800s they checked to make sure rifles were safe before they sold them. Guys, they're never going to stop coming for your gun rights. Don't listen to the people that say that they're never coming for your guns. I covered over 1,200 gun laws on my TikTok channel in about a year. There shouldn't be that many gun laws on the books at all these federal and state levels. Those of you that have watched me for years know that it's my belief that all gun control is unconstitutional. Any barrier to our gun rights is a violation to the Second Amendment. My job is to be like Paul Revere, telling you guys about all of this before the ink is dry and before it's even passed, so you can call your representatives and make an attempt to stop it. You might be surprised how putting pressure on politicians creates the outcome we want, and that's within our rights of freedom of speech. We're entitled to take up our grievances with our government and our representatives. We voted for them, we pay them, they are our employees. My channel is not here for the guys that lose their guns in a boating accident or that bury their guns when they need to be picking them up. Guys, this is not a FUD channel, even though I've been hunting big game since I was 11 years old and I love the outdoors and hunting. This is strictly a Second Amendment law and news channel. Will I one day upload gun content? Maybe. I've got plenty of them that you guys haven't seen. I collect military surplus, I collect hunting rifles, Old West guns, and I build military clones. In fact, I've got 11 guns just from the movie Black Hawk Down. So if you guys are into firearms whatsoever, make sure you're following me. I'm even a certified gunsmith. But I was doing all this on another platform that now will not allow me to be on there because they're anti-Second Amendment. If you guys want to help me on this channel until I get monetized, because I am taking care of all of my family's bills and have been for years, you can hit me up on GoFundMe. You can hit me up on Instagram. I will talk back to you guys, but anything you guys can give to help me through these tough times, I would really appreciate it. The former company I worked for swatted me, did welfare checks on me, they canceled 5 of my accounts, demonetized me, and they even tried to take me to court. This is not a game, guys. This is not a hobby. The Second Amendment is a very serious thing, and it's time that we stand up for our constitutional rights. But no matter what, I am always going to be here to provide you guys with this information on unconstitutional gun control before the ink is dry, and I will always have the names of the people responsible and the bills and descriptions so you can look to them yourself. I've always been pretty proud to say this is a channel for the working class that are too busy at work and raising their children to pay attention to what these slimy politicians are doing. That's why I'm here. I do the research so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it.